So there's this kid. He's in some serious trouble now. His name is Travis, and he's only 15 years old. He lives in Arkansas, and, well, he's kind of a troublemaker. Always stealing stuff, getting suspended from school. Just that kind of kid. Here's a yearbook photo of him if you're curious what he looked like back then. One day in 1996, he gets this idea to go big. Instead of petty theft, he's aiming for a major score. He plans to break into a house in the neighborhood. And he's not going solo. He brings along a buddy named Andre. The two of them hop on their bikes and ride off, ready to commit this crime. But once they're out there, they change the plan. Rather than hitting one house together, they decide to split up and hit two homes instead. Andre takes one house, and Travis sets his sights on a nearby mansion. Travis breaks in and starts looking around, trying to find valuables to steal. But then, out of nowhere, a Toyota Camry pulls up outside. And guess who's driving? Andre. Wait, how did he get a car? Travis goes to see what's happening, and Andre's clearly freaking out. He tells Travis that he tried to rob the mansion thinking no one was home. But he was wrong. People were inside. And when they saw him, he panicked, pulled out a gun, and shot both of them. He stole their Toyota Camry and used it to come pick up Travis. Andre asks Travis to help him get rid of the bodies. And even though he just heard this insane story, Travis agrees. They ride back to the mansion together. Sure enough, the bodies are still there. But they quickly realize there's no way they can move the corpses. They're way too heavy for two teenagers. So what do they do instead? They decide to set the whole place on fire, hoping to destroy any evidence. Then they jump into the stolen car and drive off. But their getaway doesn't go smoothly. Not even a mile from the scene, they crash the Toyota and flip it over. The car lands on its side, and the two of them crawl out and flee on foot. A local driver passes by and sees the wrecked car. Confused, he decides to check in on the owner of the car, and when he gets to the mansion, he sees it's burning to the ground. That's when the fire department and the police get involved. The police arrive quickly after the fire is reported. As they search through the charred remains of the mansion, they find the two bodies still inside. The scene is grisly, and it's immediately clear that this wasn't just an accidental fire. This was a double homicide and arson. Now, the hunt is on. Investigators begin collecting evidence, and pretty soon they put out a reward, $10,000 for any information that can lead to the capture of whoever did this. Weeks go by with no leads, until about a month later, someone steps forward and gives up a name, Travis. Police show up at Travis's house. They question him, but Travis stays completely silent. No confession, no admission of guilt. So the cops try to break him using a polygraph test. He takes it, and he passes. But if you've been around long enough, you know polygraphs aren't exactly solid science. That doesn't stop them from trying again, and again, and again. Travis ends up taking 3 polygraph tests and passes them all. But the police still believe he's hiding something. Then comes the 4th test, and this time, he fails. Finally, they've got something to use against him. They put the pressure on, and eventually, Travis confesses, but only to breaking into the homes and stealing some stuff. He insists that he never shot anyone. According to him, it was Andre who pulled the trigger, not him. A confession is a confession. And with his fingerprints found in the crashed Toyota Camry, police decide they've got enough. Even though there's no hard evidence tying Andre to the crime, Travis is arrested and charged not just with burglary, but with the murders too. The prosecution builds the whole case around him, and before long, Travis is offered a deal. Facing the possibility of a life sentence, he pleads guilty. The sentence? 28 years in prison. Now, here's where the story takes a totally unexpected turn. One of the 2 victims in that mansion, the woman who was killed, her name was Sally. Sally had a daughter named Martha, a grown woman who inherits the mansion after her mother's death. Martha decides she's not going to let this tragedy consume her. She renovates the place and turns it into a cozy little bed and breakfast. Despite everything, by all accounts, Martha is an incredibly kind-hearted person. She's also a practicing Buddhist, someone who genuinely believes in forgiveness. And so, in one of the most surprising twists, Martha begins writing letters to Travis while he's in prison. And Travis writes back. Over time, they build a kind of strange but sincere friendship. Travis continues to insist he didn't kill anyone, that it was Andre all along. And while almost no one else believes him, Martha does. She accepts that yes, Travis broke into the home and did wrong, but she truly believes he wasn't the one who took her mother's life. So Martha begins advocating for him. She asks the police to reopen the case. She even gives Travis's mother a job as a housekeeper. She does everything she can to help this man who once played a role in her deepest trauma. And the years roll by, 20 of them. It's now 2018. Travis is 37 years old. He's served his sentence, and with help from Martha, including a statement to the parole board, he's finally released. And guess what? Martha offers him a job right there at the mansion as the groundskeeper. For a guy who just got out of prison, this is an unbelievable opportunity. And for a while, it seems like it's working out. Travis does the work, stays quiet, and appears to be turning his life around. But that peace doesn't last. Roughly a year into his new life, Martha makes a business transaction. She sells one of the antique chandeliers from the mansion for $10,000, paid in cash. She hides the money temporarily in a secure room, planning to deposit it later. But Travis finds out. Maybe he overheard her mention it. Maybe he snooped around. But one way or another, he learns where the money is. He waits for the right moment, when no one's around, and sneaks into the room. He steals the cash. The next day, Martha realizes the money is gone. There's only one person who had the opportunity to take it, Travis, and her heart breaks. After everything, after all the forgiveness, the letters, the job offer, he stole from her. She confronts him and fires him on the spot. Travis doesn't take it well. He's angry, resentful, and instead of walking away, he stews on it. A month passes, and that resentment turns to rage. One morning, just before dawn, Travis returns to the mansion. He creeps in through the back door, intending to rob the place again. Maybe he thought Martha wouldn't be home, but she was, and she hears something. Acting quickly, she hits the alarm. It pings the local police station and dispatches officers immediately, but Travis finds her before they arrive. There's a confrontation, and that's when he snaps. He pulls out a knife and stabs her. Once, then again, and again. Over and over, until she's dead. Then, in a chilling echo of his past, he wraps her in blankets and pours a flammable liquid over her, likely intending to burn the body and cover his tracks, just like all those years ago. But this time, the police are already on their way. They burst into the house and hear movement upstairs. Travis is hiding in the bathroom. They shout at him to surrender, but instead he yells something defiant, bolts out the window, and falls to the ground. He lands hard, but gets up and runs to the car he came in. He jumps in, floors it, and tries to escape across Martha's sprawling lawn. Police give chase, but the car gets stuck. He abandons it and runs on foot, cutting back across the grass. In a final act of desperation, he throws himself into a nearby lake, maybe hoping to swim across and get away. But Travis never makes it. Turns out, he couldn't swim, and that's how it ends. Travis, the teenager who once got away with murder, drowns in a lake, running from the crime he committed against the one person who ever gave him a second chance.